Hey, folks, listen, you need to do this. It's not a matter of want. It's a matter of need to fill out the Only God Ordained Survey, because this is really, really important for your life. It'll change your life, and it'll make Tripp and I really happy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we were sitting there talking, and I said, Pete, Jared, could I ever be God ordained? And they were like, no, of course not. No, but you could help us get people to fill out a survey. And I said, what survey is this? I'm not doing a survey unless it's what, Pete? What kind of survey am I wanting to help people?
God ordained.
Yeah.
God ordained. It's gotta be. Yeah.
And what kind of, does God ask you a whole bunch of questions when you get a survey, or is there only one important question?
Oh, there's only one. There's only one. And it's like that thing about God that you're just dying to know and understand. And you know what? There's something good about this too, this survey, because who's going to answer these questions?
Oh, we're going to collect thousands of people's answers to their biggest question about God, theology, and the Bible. Right. We're going to get the top 10, Pete. Top 10. Yeah. So these are the most biggest, uber large, mysterious questions people carry. We're going to ask a whole bunch of different theologians from different perspectives those questions. Right. And then we're going to ask normal people. I know that's your jam.
Yeah.
You're into the normies. And we're going to ask them it in a God box.
Yes.
A God box. Yeah.
Which may or may not be built.
I'm optimistic.
Right now.
I'm optimistic.
Right.
I'm putting it out.
We'll throw some cardboard together. It's fine.
I'm secreting it.
Yeah. Right.
But at Theology Beer Camp, we're going to ask people these questions in the God box. We're going to ask them to a whole bunch of theologians. And then we are, with the powers combined of the Bible for Normal People and Homebrewed Christianity, we're going to bring people a whole host of creative, faithful, generative responses to the biggest God questions, rocking planet Earth. So,
what I'm most interested in is whether there are going to be 10 really discrete things, or whether they're going to be subsets of 2 or 3 things. But even to me, that's even thrilling to know. Like, or does this all come down to like a unified field theory or something of theology, where everybody has basically the same problem with God? And it's this. I just don't know what it is. But
is how bad the Lakers season went.
To find out, huh?
Is how bad the Lakers season went. That's what I'm really worried about right now. The Dodgers are starting great, but I just am really disappointed.
They are.
It's sad. It's sad.
It is. I'm sorry for your pain.
I know.
And your defeat.
Pete, I just want you to know I love you for who you are. I want to encourage you to become all you can be. And for you, dear viewers, we want you to do all you can do. And one thing you can do is go to the Only God Ordained Survey.com. Drop that one question in there.
Fill it out. Do it. One question, not 5 or 6. You have to really think about what's your one question. That's actually the hard part. One, I've got 7. No, you don't. I bet you have one rises to the top. We all do.
This is one of those wheat and chaff moments. Yes. Wheat and chaff. We want the wheat. We want the wheat.
Get the chaff out of that. Blow away. That's fine.
Yeah. And if your one question is how come Pete is so much cooler than Jared, you can put that in there. That could be your question. It could be.
It probably won't make the top 10, but
it won't make the top 10.
If that's where you are, if that's your space right now, go ahead and say that. But hopefully you're thinking more about that, because this is, I think it's a fun question if you're not paranoid about being thrown into hell.
Yeah.
Right.
So we aren't going to track their IP addresses.
Right. But I think it's also a very serious question, because, we're all thinking about God and us, and everyone has had issues, so what's the question? It's like, I think it's enjoyable to have a forum for doing this sort of thing. I think it's going to be, I'm really looking forward to seeing what these responses are, because I bet you there's going to be so much commonality. And if anything, people are going to say, oh, I thought I was like one of only 2 or 3 people who thought that. Oh no, people have written books about this going back a very long time. So, join the club. Yeah. So go to the Only God Ordained Survey.com, drop in your question, help us
get the biggest questions to ask a whole bunch of different scholars from different parts of the church, different kind of schools of thought. Then we can bring it to the masses and help people answer their questions with a host of different zesty options alive in the church. And if you want to answer the question yourself and hang out with Pete and I, you can come to theologybeer.camp this October and go in the God box, because if you want to bust out of a box after you've dominated it, it's the God box.
And if you want a t-shirt, maybe.
Oh, yeah. I want to get t-shirts to talk about dominating the God box, because that's the one you wear home at Thanksgiving. They're like, what did you do in October?
You wear to the Bible study. That's the one you take with you. So, right.
I dominated the God box at Theology Beer Camp. And you're like, oh, there you go. There you go. All righty. Check it out. TheOnlyGodOrdainedSurvey.com. Peace.